Hello, Bl'Artagnan here with Malodorus Night, the GL exclusive Lenna event, Lufenia Plus, I guess that's what we'll call it. We're bringing a team of Vayne, Bartz, and Lenna. Gonna be fighting some Malodorus and some Sahagins. Oh, what a blast for the past. I feel like it's been ages since either of those guys have been, relevant enemies in any way. Just showing up in heretics and being doofuses. Before we get too deep into it, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps support the channel, helps it grow. Hoping to get to 500 subscribers pretty soon so I can start doing community posts and I don't know, whatever that entails. I don't know. It just sounds like a good idea. Anywho's, what do we got going on here? We got some interesting orbs, interesting mechanics. I like the way they designed this fight. There's some nifty stuff going on here. I mean, maybe not here. This fight is this wave is a little bit straightforward, but there's some interesting stuff at play. No doubt there. Malodorus, of course, have a bunch of debuffs, and we have Lenna here to prevent that from being any sort of issue. The orb is interesting. It's basically a jacked up version of the Aroha orb. It goes up by like 6 or something whenever everyone in the party has 30k Brave, at least, at the end of the turn. So Lenna, of course, with her batteries, super helpful for that. I originally was thinking I was going to use Bartz's BT refund to also help with that, but I decided not to. It ended up not being necessary. There's also a hilarious side condition to the orb that a lot of people, I think, didn't notice when they read the description, which is if you cleanse a debuff, which is to say if you use like an Esna effect, like a Yuna or a Balthier or something like that, the orb goes -12 and immediately kills you, which is really funny. I think that's a pretty nifty design space to explore, that kind of punitive orb thing where it's like you did the thing. Okay, no, you weren't supposed to do the thing. I think it has the reputation, there's the potential for abuse there. Like, I hope that if they implement this in the future, which I do hope they do so carefully so as not to just kind of have, unmitigatable bullshit about they've had like things like this unit counters melee attacks, and being able to get around that creatively is pretty fun. So there's a tension in my mind of this is new and exciting and interesting space, having the orb immediately proc if you do certain forbidden actions. But if those actions are sometimes getting around those restrictions can be fun. So I'm curious to see where they go from here. That's all there really is to report on this part of the fight. You can see Vayne is, of course, chewing through that orb timer with his free turns. It's almost unnecessary for us to have Lenna here to deal with these guys' debuffs, but she's really good for the orb, so we have her there. Also, Lenna's one of my favorite characters, so here we are. Just a little over a quarter of their health to go. Then we're actually going to be breaking them out of order here because I wanted to give Lenna a chance to... What was I trying to do here? I was just nervous about the orb and wanted Lenna to be battery up for this big attack they were doing, and that was kind of the thinking there. Alright, their attacks aren't actually that threatening. They have the annoying Malodorus, it's debuffs, which is a pain, but aside from that, the only real threat here is that orb. If you have a cleanse of some kind, that could mess you up with the instant countdown. Oh yeah, I also I forgot I'm bringing the Beatrix call here for the second wave. I meant to use the base call here earlier because it's like, hey, defense down, brave damage up, why the heck not? And then I completely forgot to for the entire fight. So that ended up not being a huge issue because I'm pretty sure we were capping for most of this wave. But well, there it is. Kind of lost potential. Otherwise that the base call wasn't going to be doing a whole lot in the second wave since it's imperil immune. I really need to make more use of that Beatrix call. I think it's really handy. So we're just cleaning up here before we go into the second wave. One more attack should do it. After this, come on, take us home, Bartz. Alright, on to the next wave. Full disclosure, actually, my editing skills have gotten better because that I actually had to reset the wave, and it was a pretty smooth transition there. I'm a man of integrity, so I'm telling you that I had to reset the wave because you wouldn't have known otherwise, because I'm real slick these days. Anyway, these guys are pretty interesting. This is a fascinating boss setup they've come up with us The orb counts down -2 every player action, which is... -2 every player action, which is pretty crazy. But it doesn't tick down on boss turns. Instead, whenever... The way they phrase it is kind of weird to me, because the way it actually happened... Short version, whenever you do a big battery, I think it's like 80% of the character's max brave is the way they said it. It goes up by plus, like, what? 6, plus 3, plus something? But it's a non-lethal orb, which is cool. We had that in Shiva. It's a mechanic that they're exploring a bit more, which I'm down for, you know, just getting a better feel for it. Makes the fight more interesting to just have a little kind of countdown thing to be managing. We're jumping into the Bart's Burst phase immediately here. Mostly because these guys absorb magic, and Vayne's EX is magic. So I don't want to just give these guys a whole bunch of Brave when he does his EX. So I straight up made a mistake here. I was planning on trying to get them both under 80 at the same time, so we could kind of deal with it all at once. But I forgot to, so one's below 80, we're going to have to get the other below 80 as soon as we can. So we're going to go ahead and bring in Faris. Once again, these guys are Imperil immune, so Faris' LD debuff won't be present, but it's okay, we got that nice defense down, we got the poison, which will be helpful. So we can work with that. Meanwhile, trying real hard to get this guy under 80, so there we go. So it's interesting, whenever you bring these guys under 80, 50, or 30%, the orb immediately triggers. And what the orb does, for those of you who don't know, is it does that attack there, delays everyone by 2 turns, removes 1 debuff from the one non-gold debuff from the Sahagin, and gives them a blessing, which is this annoying frame buff that reduces their Brave and HP damage taken by like half. It's pretty brutal if you don't have a way to get rid of it. And so we brought the Faris call to get rid of it. We also have the Beatrix call and the Sephiroth call. And you're probably thinking to yourself, Bl'Art, that's only 2 dispels. You're gonna have to deal with that that blessing at some point. And we'll see if I have to. Oh, ye of little faith. At this point, I think it's fine to go ahead and bring in the Sephiroth call. Then, here we go. Vayne Burst. Oh, I love this animation. Big sword. Very satisfying. That dealt with about 10% of their health. Yeah, I don't know the exact numbers, but 1,000,000 damage is about 10% of their health, if you can do it in one action. So, I think I'm going to bring in someone who is regularly able to do 1,000,000 damage in one action. Well, 2,000,000 in this case. Bring in the Twins friend. Thanks to Bartz, their Imperil immunity means nothing. We're hitting for weakness damage, hit them both for 2,000,000 apiece. And now, there we go. We are just where we want to be. Maybe I should... I could have done this on the Twins turn, but it's okay. Going to go into the summon. And Twins is going to go nuts from here to post 30%. We're going to go ahead and skip those thresholds so that we only have to cleanse the blessing 1 time. I gotta say, Twins is nuts. I think I've said this every time I use them, but I really underestimated how much damage they do. I knew they did a lot of damage, but like seeing it actually play out, it's like, whoa, hold on there, buddies. Enjoying Lenna's Dragon Breath there, that's pretty cool. I like supports that can deal damage, it's pretty nifty. Maybe I should purple my Freya just so I can get the sphere on her. Spheres. But there we go, we're below 30% now, so these guys are about to just do a whole bunch of chain attacks, which would be scary, but actually, because of Shiva, the attack isn't taking a turn. And so, they do 4 auto attacks in a row, and don't cleanse that debuff from Shiva, and so they deal 0 damage. So that was actually just tremendous. There we go, that was just a whole waste of their time. They delayed us a bunch, but that's okay. As you saw, thanks to Shiva, we were nice and safe, took no damage. The HP requirement's actually pretty tight, 5,000 HP damage, so if you're not careful, that can really mess you up. But anyway, there we go, cleansing that debuff. Dispelling that debuff, that's the terminology. There we go. Some more good damage from Lenna. And you know what? Screw it. Let's see how much damage Bl'Art. This is not usually an impressive BT finisher. But with Twins and everything else going on, Lenna and all that, that was like as much damage as Twins has been doing, so that's just tremendous. Maybe I should green my twins. Jesus, this is just fantastic to watch. And on that note, closing us out, bringing us home. Thank you, twins. This was pretty fun. I'm sure doing it without 2 greens is going to be a little more interesting. I'll see what I can do there. But very interesting fight. So I'm down with it. Thanks, devs. This was a fun little surprise. Hashtag where's Vanille? Hashtag Lenna, I guess. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Adios.